with that said, I want to go to a special segment of our show tonight that Phil Edholm was kind enough with Tom Farrell to produce for us about the DARE Club, D-A-R-E, in Pennsylvania. So, Phil, I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Thanks, Jim. So Tom and I went to the, hang on, let's not do that yet. Hang on, just give me a second here. So Tom and I went to the narrow gauge convention in Pennsylvania, and we had an opportunity to go out and tour some layouts. And one of the layouts we toured was a club called the DARE Club. And I actually got a couple of folks from the DARE Club that are here, and I'd like to introduce them. So first, I'd like to introduce the president of the club, Dave Stanton. So Dave, I have you join me. And then the other is Brian Sipe, and here I'll pull you in as well. So these guys have a really interesting club, and I thought what I'd do is go ahead and just share a little video of the club and kind of the environment, and then we can talk about it both from the club, but also kind of their unique membership and kind of some of the things they do that's very unique.
Good.
Virtually everything that we get is donated to us.
Hello, a young person.
He was one of our members.
Hey, there you go. Right. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Ethan.
It's a single track
My
railroad.
name's Bane.
Hi, Ben.
Bane.
Bane. Bane's running a train.
It's running a 79 Montour. Just back into the sub meeting to make
Cool. Then tell me about the layout. Who
My
are you?
name is Ethan.
Hi, Ethan.
This is an O-gauge layout. There's O and 3 field.
O and 30 in the middle? Or O and 3?
O and 3, the narrow gauge.
Yeah.
This is the general. This is the inner. This is the outer. There's actually a point field and
So with that, I ask Dave and Brian, why don't you guys talk a little bit about, first, tell us a little bit about the facility of the club, where you are, the layout you have, and then we'll talk a little about some of the uniquenesses of your club. So tell us just 30 seconds about the club. You'll probably have to unmute.
Club is in an old school building built in 1926, and we've been there for many years now. We are on the top floor. We have 3 rooms, one being real big, the other 2 are still pretty sizable, and we have one part of it on the first floor. And it's the Venetia Heritage Society building. We are there with no cost to anybody, not to us or anybody. So it's a really great facility.
That's excellent. And some of the other things you can see from the video is you have multiple layouts. Tell us just kind of a little bit about what those layouts are, so people have an idea.
Yeah, we've got 10 layouts in 6 different scales, so it's it gets to be quite a bit of stuff for some of the kids. Here's a few of the if I can get it going. This is going back, like Dave said, we've been in the school for almost 15 years now. The club is much older than that. He started it when he was the DARE police officer for the Peters Township School District. We are a Pittsburgh suburb, by the way. Everybody keeps saying Pennsylvania and you see Venetia, but we're Pittsburgh. So here's a couple of our layouts. This is our signature Montour replica. This takes up about 30 by 30 double deck and maintains the operation capabilities that the real Montour had for years. We have G scale. We've got shelf HO S, more traditional type O layout. This is all American Flyer type stuff. This is a working HO steel mill that was scratch built by someone about 30 years ago, maybe. We have an N gauge under construction. This is part of the big O. We have a whole classroom that's filled with O scale. And then we also have a portable layout that we take around. This is where over at the local libraries, we set up between like Thanksgiving and into the new year over the Christmas season. And then we also can take this, this is down at the Carnegie Science Center, downtown Pittsburgh, as part of their yearly locomotion thing. So we've got a lot of stuff going on for, and it's all built for the kids. We are a hands-on group. That's our biggest feature, I think. You know, a lot of railroad clubs, when you go in, the first thing you see inside the door is a do not touch sign. We don't have any of those. And yes, we take a risk a little bit with especially the younger kids that you've already seen. We also have, we've got kids from basically, I say 8 to 88. So, and everybody gets to operate, run trains, and help out in different various things, help out with scenery, help out with construction, whatever you want to do, we've got a place for you.
So about how many under 18 members, participants do you have currently?
I would say maybe 25 total. It kind of
Varies a little.
kind of divides into two groups. The kids that you already saw there, there's a core group of I would say 8 or 10 to 13-year-olds that are there most of the time. And then there's another group of high school age kids and college, you know, even beyond high school and college. So there's another group of probably 10 or 12. Again, everybody's kind of on a rotating basis. There's no attendance taken,
Right.
and there's no fee, so it's not like you're going to cost you if you miss a day or whatever. But we're open for everybody, and we'll find a spot for everybody to run a train.
So you say no fees. Do you have dues of any kind, or?
No, we do not have any dues. We get the building for free. Everything we get is pretty much donated. So there is no fee to anybody.
Oh, that's cool. So having the young people there, you know, I see that there's kind of a lot of rewards of seeing them, being around them. What are some of the challenges that you've had to deal with through the years that you would tell people, and maybe some challenges and some ways you've changed the way you do things that make you better to be more youth friendly?
Well, I think for me, I was the dare officer at the police department. And so I've had a lot of training with kids. And I also have a lot of teachers that are friends and friends in different therapies and helpful people. So we've actually had, it's been absolutely fabulous. The biggest problem we have is when the kids first come, they got to learn that they can only touch their train, and they learn that pretty quick. And then it's to show respect towards everybody. Everybody is treated the same. Everybody's fair. We take turns. And so the biggest problem has been just keeping the kids all busy at the same time. And they all like to run the Montour layout because that's DCC and sound and everything. But the kids do enjoy just running all the stuff.
That's good. That's good. So, you know what, give us a few favorite moments. You know, you've had this engagement with kids. What are a few of the favorite moments you've had, or some of the things you found as being rewarding for doing this? I mean, obviously, Dave, you've been around kids a lot, but I guess from the kind of the club perspective, there are a few things that really stand out in terms of, you know, seeing a young person get something that was really important, or things that helped them in their lives later.
I think one of the biggest things, the most exciting thing to me is we've had this happen several times, that the parents come in and tell us the kids will ask their parents, how many wake ups till train day? And so that's really cool. And just seeing the excitement on their faces when they're running. Brian, what else have you seen?
It's, I think a lot of it, more than just a moment, if you want to call it that, but broader term. We've had kids that come in 8 years old, they're there at 18, they're there, they come back during college years. When they get out of college, we still get them back. We've got guys that are, in their 20s, etc., that are out doing their own careers. When they come home, either in the summer from college or in the holidays to visit parents, they come and visit us. So they keep showing up. They come back and do things. It's not just go in the door and wave and say hi. It's they'll spend a session with us. We're there 2 days a week, basically 3 hours at a time. So it gives us a little bit of time to get in with the kids, and but just seeing some of that progression in some of our kids' lives is pretty neat to me.
Yeah, I think that idea that they start at 8, that allows them to really develop some friendships that are long term, which is very cool. So I guess one of the things I noticed was I did meet one parent while I was there. I think of the blonde-haired young man. So how do you manage your relationship with parents that I assume are not, let's say, are not necessarily model railroaders or railroad enthusiasts, but are supporting their son or daughter? How do you engage with them? What are the things you do with them in that process?
I was going to say, Brian, if you have, yeah, Noah's now a firefighter, but if you have those ones from the T-track thing, we do encourage parents. Oh, the parents have to come for the younger kids. They have to be there, and we encourage them to participate, help out. And the neat thing is, these parents have learned a lot. People that have, like you said, have never been model railroaders, they are now learning. There's the one picture of just all the parents helping, and grandparents. Some of them are grandparents, and they're all willing to help out and just work with the kids. And to me, that's a big part of what makes it successful for kids, is the parents and the kids working together.
That's cool. That's absolutely cool. Well, great. I'll show it too. I'll throw it open to Jim and everyone else. I think that's some great ideas. We've talked a lot before this session about potentially working together on the scholarship and that. I'll kind of add in Jim here, and we'll open it up. Jim, you have any other questions, or anyone else in the New Tracks community have any questions?
I think it's wonderful. I think it's great that the community is supporting of you. I think it's wonderful that the police department members are basically some of the people that got it started. I wonder if that's happening around the country, or is this something unique maybe to your city?
There are a few places that I've heard of that has done it, but most of them have not lasted. Luckily for us, even though I've retired, our township is still very much a part of it, and they're very, very supportive of it. So that's made all the difference in the world, is that it's not just the police department, it's the whole community.
What about the local?
Be really clear, Dave just has not decided to move to Florida.
No, I don't like the heat. I like the cold. So I'm not. But I can tell you that we've had parents. About several months ago, we had an open house, and we had the two parents come in, and they were there, and they told me that their two kids, Pete and Mike, had been in the club, and I do remember them. And they said when they came here, and it's exactly what you said, is that they were starting to do some things the parents didn't like, but they became friends with the other kids in the club, and they started hanging around together. And the mother was actually crying, thanking us for helping turn her kids around. Now, the negative thing was, I said, "Oh, how old are Nick and or Pete and Mike now?" And I thought she was going to say 23, and she said 36 and 33. So didn't feel good. Another thing, the older kids that Brian talked about, they all now go rail fanning together literally all over the area, and they didn't even know each other before the club.
Oh, that's fantastic. That really is.
Uh,
I think you
uh,
guys have done a great job. It sounds fantastic. I wish more of these were around the country. But let me ask you this: is the local newspaper supportive of you?
They have been, yes, and that's why we have gotten donations literally from all over the country, and it's because the local papers have done some stories from time to time, and apparently once it goes in there, then it goes on the internet, and we literally have gotten donations of stuff from all over the country.
If you go online and Google, something to the effect of Kids Railroad Club donations, the Dare Club is one of the first things that pops up, because we have been mentioned in several articles that, they were written basically when Dave was part of the police department, and the active connection between the kids and the police department and the Dare program. So that got us several articles written, and then people pick up on that. And as Dave mentioned, we get we'll get an email or a call, and hey, we're cleaning out Grandpa's attic, and I found 4 boxes full of train stuff up here. Do you guys take any? We can't figure out what to do with it. Hey, you bet, send it over. And in a week or two, it shows up on basically Dave's doorstep, and it's like Secret Santa. You never know what you're going to get, and it's different things, different eras, different quality, different quantities. Everything that we basically get is really been donated and or repurposed. We've had several layouts around our territory, the Pittsburgh area. You guys all know the story. Someone has a layout in the basement, passes away. It sits there for a couple of years. Finally, the widow finally says, get this out of here. And we've gone in and dismantled and taken apart probably 8 or 10 different layouts in our area. And then we bring it over and we repurpose it. That big O scale you saw in the one room, that main platform is exactly that, that story. The big Montour layout that we have have over 350 feet of main line. It's all repurposed. The track, even the bench work, we take everything that we can get and try to make use of it. So we obviously occasionally you have to buy something that you need a special switch, you need a special something. But generally it's been very, very rewarding that we can operate and on literally a shoestring budget, but we've got big shoes to fill. So that part has been good for us.
And the link to your Facebook page is both in the chat and the Zoom meeting and in the YouTube meeting. So if anybody wants it.
Dave, if you'll send me one of the articles that you wrote that appeared in the newspaper. I do a monthly column in my local newspaper. I'll put your article in one of mine.
Oh, cool.
If your newspaper would be interested in my articles, I'll be glad to send it to them too. Won't charge them anything if they want to use them in their newspaper. And if you can give me information on Dare, I can put that in each one of my articles. That would not be a problem for me at all.
We'll get them for you. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I was great. And like, as Jim said, I just walked in not expecting at all what I found and came away so impressed with what you guys are doing. So, have a great one. Before I close, are there any questions from the rest of the community? Anyone else have a question they wanted to ask? What's the largest engine that hit the floor? Nobody wants to ask that question? No. Okay, guys. You guys have a good.
Thank you
so much for coming, guys. And
Thank you.
Come back often. Come back anytime you
We'll
want
do
to.
that.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good one.